Today I'm talking about 7 mistakes in landscape photography, and I know I did a lot of videos on this topic, but every now and then new mistakes pop out. I notice new things. Not checking the weather forecast. This is something that uh, it, it's happening very rarely, but from time to time it's happening. Usually every beginner checks the weather forecast, but um, even with weather forecast, there are some fine things that you have to look at. And for example, you have to know when there's going to be fog. If you're like me and you really like photographing in foggy situations, I really need to know when it's going to be fog in the forest where I'm going. Also, when I'm going to a location that is further away from me, I'm checking for instability. This is a very important element in weather forecast, because you can have a rainy forecast, but you can also have big instability or great instability, and that can help you with changes that are happening very quickly and dramatic in the weather. Mistake number 2, not considering the best moment of the day for the best light. Now, depending on the type of subject that you're photographing, that moment of the day can be different. Usually sunrise and sunsets, I mean, not usually, always, sunrise and sunsets are the best moments to be in a location, especially in the mountains where you have an open landscape. But there are numerous other occasions when the light looks really well, even during the day, for a certain place, especially if you take into account the position of the sky, of the sun in the sky in different seasons. For example, in the winter, when it's getting lower, you're going to have longer shadows, and maybe things are looking really well even during the day. Mistake number 3, not researching the location. There are 2 types of situations here. The first type is when you have the ability to visit the location in advance, and you have the ability to know exactly what you're going to encounter on that location. But you also have a second situation when you can't do that, and because that location is really far away and you're investing a lot of money to go there. So you have to prepare. I'm using Google Maps and Google Earth to know from where the sun is going to rise. I'm kind of guessing the landscape, the mountains, how they're looking in that place. I'm also checking for other people's photos, but I tend to do that as little as possible, because I don't want to be influenced by other photographers. I want to get there and experience the place in my way, but there is no way of escaping, of seeing photos from a certain location. Mistake number 4, not having the right lens or filters. Again, with my forest subject, if I enter the forest with a wide angle lens, then it's not going to be a good day for me, because I'm going to capture all that chaos and it's not going to look that well. Also, if you're up in the mountains and you need a telephoto lens, but you only have a wide angle lens, again, it's not a good situation to be. If you want to do a long exposure because you're seeing the clouds moving fast in the sky, but you don't have an ND filter, again, there could be a problem. Mistake number 5, not paying attention to the foreground. And usually this is, you're not paying attention in the sense that you're including foreground elements that are not interesting, like simple grass or simple gravel. Foreground elements have to pinpoint the attention of the viewer in a certain direction, so the journey of the viewer starts in the foreground and ends in on the subject that you're choosing. If you have elements that are not interesting in front of you, then don't frame them. Mistake number 6, not taking enough time to compose the shot. Again, I will give you an example. Let's say that you come to one of my workshops and we're going to do a sunrise on top of a mountain. You've never been there, and I will take you there 5 minutes before the sun actually rises. The sunrise is happening. So you only have time to get your gear out, and you don't have time to look around. I may tell you what to do, but in order to benefit the maximum, in order to create an interesting image, you also need a proper understanding of the place for yourself. That is why I arrive 30 to 40 minutes before sunrise on a location. This way, every participant has the chance to get used to the place, learn and the compositions that I'm talking about, finding their own compositions. Mistake number 7, not having a tripod to keep the camera steady. In landscape photography, a tripod is extremely important. I've met a few people that come to my workshops that don't like using a tripod. They like to boost the ISO value. They're getting the shot in terms of composition. They're moving more freely without using a tripod, but the technical quality of their photos is suffering. Now, it depends on where you want to use that photo. If you just want to post it on social media, then probably you can get away with it. But if you want to sell your photos on stock, or maybe you want to do long exposures, or you want to do things that you really demand on the exposure time, and you really want an ISO value of 100 to have minimum noise, then you will need to use a tripod. These are not the only 7 mistakes that a photographer can do. So if you want to add something, just use the comment section below. If you want to learn more about landscape photography, you can also check my ebook. The link is in the description of this video. And until next time, keep on photographing, because it's the only way that you can get better. Bye-bye.